Hi, Barry.
Hi, Susan.
So thank you for joining us. We're here with Barry Lipscomb, who is teaching a class at Evenstar Institute called Lead from Within. Barry is here to tell us a little bit about himself and what we might expect his presentation to be and his background to be for the class. So, Barry, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure, Susan. Thanks for creating this opportunity for us to chat about this class. I'm excited to share this and look forward to people enrolling and joining us for the class. I kind of had this dual passion, both for matters of consciousness, but also for evolving business and organizations, and largely through leading from our deeper selves. And I really look at accomplishing that through a couple of means, really using the somatic tools that we have in our body, and also wisdom traditions and wisdom technologies that we can draw on to develop as leaders and evolve and lead from deeper inner wisdom.
Okay. So, uh, what what you do helps people access their deeper self, and
Yes.
some of the tools that you use, you said somatic tools and wisdom technologies. So can you talk a little bit about what the deeper self is?
Yeah, it's really that inner knowing that we have. And when we find means to access that, we find this whole inner resource within ourselves. Some people might call it intuition, some people might call it inner guidance, some might just call it that knowing that we have in a moment of stillness, that when we can quiet down what's happening in the external world and we use tools designed to do that, we can access deeper resources. And generally, I have found in the moment, we know what to do if we can find a way to quiet ourselves and lean into that deeper information that we might have.
So it sounds like this deeper self is something that people are already familiar with. If you saying it's intuition or maybe something in their gut, it sounds like, or a quiet stillness. I mean, we've all had, I would think that a lot of people have had just moments of quiet stillness where there's a, wow, oh, okay, I get that. So is that what you're talking about? That this is something natural to people, but there are specific ways and tools that we can access it more readily and consciously and intentionally?
Yes, that's a great description of that. That there are these moments that we find ourselves, like you said, with this aha moment of those shower moments, and we go for a walk and we have this big realization. Or some people have talked about working in a state of flow where they look and they might have been working for 20 minutes and they've done 4 hours of work or something like that. Those things, I think most of us can point to places that those seem to have happened randomly or by chance. What we're looking to do here is develop the ability and the capacity to call on those experiences in the moment when we need them, and have access to them readily and on call, for so to speak.
Yeah, cool. That would be a great skill to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So you said the some of the tools were somatic and wisdom technologies. So can you talk a little bit about those and what they are and the differences that they are?
Yeah, so when I speak about somatic processes, what I'm talking about is body based, that the body itself can give us messages in generally a felt sense. So there's processes that we'll use, we might connect first with an emotion or a thought, then go to where we're feeling it in our body, and then cue into what's happening in that part of our body as a way to just let that experience blossom and see what that's trying to tell us. And there's two particular wisdom technologies that I utilize to do that. The first one is a process called focalizing, and it's a process that I was trained in over 10 years ago and was the executive director of the Focalizing Institute for many years in New York City. And focalizing is a means to resolve stuck places of energy in our nervous system, generally that have found themselves stuck through some type of traumatic event, whether that's a physical or an emotional trauma. And now, every time we see something that looks like that trauma, our nervous system freezes up and we're not able to flow through that moment. So when we go back in, find that stuck place, re-experience it, so to speak, somatically or from a felt body sense perspective, we can free that energy up. And now, when we face that situation again, we're free to access our innate intelligence and not get stuck in that stuck moment again. So that's focalizing. The other process that that I use is called depth hypnosis. And that is a process combining deeper shamanic practices along with hypnotherapy. And again, looking to work through some stuck place and access deeper knowing. So those are two of the wisdom technologies that I used among several others that we'll be bringing into the class.
Yeah, so the depth hypnosis, that sounds really advanced. Is that something that students will learn, or is that something that you do as a process with the students, that they go through the process at your direction, but they don't learn it to do it with themselves? Which
That's correct. Depth hypnosis is something we'll be using in the class to deepen the experience that we have as we teach tools to access this deeper knowing that we were talking about
I see.
earlier. Yes,
So it enhances the tools being taught. It's not a tool that a student will take away with them.
that's correct.
Got it.
Like we'll be using a process of depth hypnosis to connect each student with a guide in the shamanic tradition that will be their guide as a leader and a resource for them.
Okay. Okay. That sounds cool, right?
It is cool.
Cool. All right. Well, Barry, thank you so much for explaining some of the tools that you use and how you bring people into a state of inner awareness about how they can deepen into their leadership skills by listening to themselves more closely. This is Barry Lipscomb, who is teaching the class Lead from Within at Evenstar Institute. It is on Mondays for 7 weeks, starting on January 18th, Mondays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And to register for the class, go to evenstarschalice.com/institute and click on the courses page. So thank you, Barry. We'll
Thanks,
talk to
Julie.
you again soon.
All right. Thank you.